dear friends. So in the previous lecture of the frequency modulation, we have discussed about the theory of the frequency modulation, as well as we have discussed about the sideband produced and what is the bandwidth of the FM signal. Now in this video lecture, we will discuss how we can generate the frequency modulated wave. So basically, to generate the frequency, we require a kind of a oscillator, and here the carrier frequency is going to be a very high, so we have to use the LC oscillator. And basically, whenever you want to change the frequency, then normally either we are changing the value of inductor or the value of the capacitor. Now, how we can change the value of inductor and the capacitor as my modulating signal is changing? And for that we have a different method, and two methods are there. One of the method which is known as a direct method, and indirect method, the simplest one is a varactor diode. And another method is there which is called a reactance modulator. And the second method, which is known as a indirect method, and here the most popular method is a Armstrong method. But in this lecture, we are going to focus on a reactance modulator. So basically, if we talk about the varactor diode, then what is a varactor diode? It is a variable capacitor. And how the capacitor of the varactor diode is changing? That as we change the reverse bias. So here, if you know that if we apply the reverse bias voltage and if we measure the capacitor, then the capacitor is going to decrease in this way. As the reverse bias voltage is increasing, then the capacitor is decreasing. So by applying the reverse bias voltage, we can change the value of the capacitor. As a result, the frequency is going to change. So here, whatever the variable capacitor is there or the varactor diode is there, it will be a part of your change circuit. Remember, here that some other connection will be there. But as I am applying a reverse bias voltage, then the value of this capacitance is changing. So effective capacitance of the tank circuit is going to change and the oscillating frequency will change. But what is a reactance modulator? So reactance modulator means that circuit itself will work as a kind of a reactance. Now we have two types of the reactance, that is a inductive reactance or a capacitive reactance. So by changing the modulating voltage, the inductive reactance or the capacitive reactance is going to change. If we see the basic thing, then here in the FM generation, you require a kind of a oscillator. Remember. And that will be a LC oscillator because you have to generate a high frequency. In a LC oscillator, there will be a tank circuit. Already we know, and one here inductor and the capacitor will be there. Now this tank circuit will be a part of your a oscillator circuit, and we know that the whatever the frequency is going to generate, and that frequency will be generated accordingly 1 upon 2 pi root LC. Correct? Now anyhow, if I am able to change the value of the capacitor or I am able to change the value of the capacitor inductor, then the generating frequency will also change. So here we can have a reactance modulator. this reactance modulator will work as a capacitor. Remember, either it will work as a capacitor or it will work as a inductor. And this capacitor, or we can say the output of the reactance, is connected to this tank circuit. And this value of the capacitor is going to change as my reactance of the modulator is going to change. And how the reactance of the modulator is changing? As my modulating signal Vm is going to change. So, if the Vm will increase or decrease, then the reactance modulator, here whatever the capacitor is there, that value of the capacitor is going to increase or decrease, and ultimately the parallel combination of these two capacitors is changing, and as a result the frequency of this oscillator is changing. So this is the basic block how we can generate the FM wave. Now what is a reactance modulator? Just now already mentioned, reactance modulator can be of a two type. It can be an inductive reactance. In that case, this is working as a equivalent inductor. And if it is a capacitive modulator, then capacitive reactance modulator, it will work as a variable capacitor. So the reactance modulator will be connected to a parallel to the tank circuit, and this tank circuit will be a part of the oscillator, and as my modulating frequency is changing, the reactance will change, that will change the either value of L or C, and the output frequency is going to change. Correct? Now let us see what is the circuit of a reactance modulator. Here we are going to discuss about a capacitive reactance modulator. Remember, this is a capacitive reactance modulator. Correct? So here in this circuit we are using a field effect transistor. Then what is the property of the field effect transistor? So that we can change the value of the capacitor. Here the whole circuit is working as a reactance modulator. And if we measure this capacitance between the point A and A dash, then this is working as a kind of a variable capacitor between these two points A and A dash. Now if you look at the characteristics of a field effect transistor, then the characteristics is like this, that is a drain current and the gate to source voltage. So as the gate voltage is increasing, we know that the drain current is go on decreasing. Here in this characteristics, if we measure what is the transconductance, then transconductance is what? It is a ratio of a drain current to the gate voltage VD, or you can have a change in the drain current to the change in the gate voltage. So if I will find out a slope at this point, then I have transconductance GM1. If I will find out the slope at this point, I will find a GM2. If I am finding here, then so here this characteristics is a non-linear, and therefore the value of the transconductance at different point is going to be a different. In other words, we can say as my gate voltage is changing, the value of the transconductance is also go on changing. Correct? So you should remember this. The transconductance is a function of your gate to source voltage. Okay? Okay. Now, in which condition this circuit will work as a reactance modulator? So first of all, now here you can see that we are applying some voltage between the point A and A dash. That is the AC voltage. Remember, I am not talking about the DC. Here some AC voltage is there, that is a part of your tank circuit, and tank circuit is generating some frequency, so that due to this the voltage between the point A and A dash is changing. As a result, there is a flow of a current. The flow of the current is there. This current is flowing this way, and this current is divided in two parts. That is known as a current I, means it is a drain current. And the second thing is a IB. Now here you should remember that the value of this current IB, must be too much less than my drain current I. Remember. So in which condition the circuit will work as a reactance modulator? So the first condition is that whatever the current IB is flowing here, it should be very, very small compared to this I. And the second condition is that the reactance, here we are connecting a capacitor between the drain and source, and the resistance is connected between the gate and the source. So the reactance of this capacitor must be too much greater than the resistance R. Means you can say the reactance between the drain to gate should be very, very high compared to a reactance between the gate to source. And normally this reactance will be at least 5 to 10 times than resistance R. This reactance of the capacitor, you have to select the value of capacitor so that this reactance will be 5 to 10 times larger than the resistance R. Okay. So this two condition has to be satisfied for the reactance modulator. Now we will find out that what is the reactance between the point A and A dash. What is the equivalent value of the capacitor? Here this is working as a variable capacitor. Remember, this is a C equivalent is there. Correct? Okay. To find out this, here you can say that whatever the voltage we have applied, this voltage is also appear between these two voltage, between these two terminals. Correct? And as a result, there is a flow of the current I. B is there, so I can write that this voltage V is equal to IB into. Now this current is passing to the capacitor as well as the resistance. So we can write as R minus JXC. That is the reactance of the capacitor. Now, if I will write what is the voltage between the gate and the source of the FET, and it is a VG. VG will be equal to, we can write as IB into R. Remember, here the gate current is very, very small, and we are neglecting because the FET has a very high input impedance. So whatever the current IB is passing through the capacitor, we assume that the same current is passing through the resistance R. So here if I will take this ratio, then the VG by V is equal to R divided by R minus JXC. Correct? Or you can say the gate to source voltage is equal to, we can write V into R divided by R minus JXC. Correct? R minus JXC. Okay. Now, what is the drain current? Here, this drain current, and according to the definition of a transconductance, we can write the drain current I is equal to Gm, I is equal to Gm into Vg. Because The transconductance is a ratio of the drain current to the gate voltage. So I is equal to Gm into Vg. And here we can write that Gm, and what is Vg? It is a V into R divided by R minus Jxc. V into R divided by R minus Jxc. Correct? And now we will calculate what is the impedance Z between the point A and A dash. Impedance is what? It is a ratio of a voltage divided by current. And what is my applied voltage? That is a V. And the current is I. Correct? Now we can calculate that what is the impedance. So here Z is equal to V upon I. So this is equal to, we can write, what is I? GMVR that V divided by GMVR into divided by R minus Jxc itself. So here R minus Jxc, and this V will be cancelled. Then we can write 1 upon Gm outside this bracket. Then this will be a R minus Jxc divided by R. Correct? And I can write 1 upon Gm into bracket 1 minus Jxc by R. Now here we apply this condition that the Xc is too much greater than R. So if this Xc is too much greater than R, then this ratio Xc by R will be very large compared to 1, and therefore you can neglect this value of 1. So here we can write, but the Xc is too much greater than R, then my impedance will be equal to 1 upon Gm into minus Jxc by R. Remember, so this is the impedance seen between the point A and B. Now look at this point. Here. So if I will write what is the capacitive reactance, then this capacitive reactance we can write as X equivalent equal to a Xc divided by Gm into R. I am taking it back to impedance is there, but now this impedance is a capacitive. This indicates here the Xc by R is there, so it is totally a capacitive reactance. So capacitive reactance we can write as X equivalent equal to Xc divided by Gm by R. And what is Xc? That is a 1 upon 2 pi f C Gm into R. Correct? So this is the equivalent capacitive reactance. And here if you take this, if you consider this point that Cm here, so what this indicate? C into Gm into R, that is representing a capacitor. Remember. So here we can write that this is equal to X equivalent to 1 upon 2 pi F into C equivalent, where the C equivalent is what? It is GMC into R. So whatever the value of the capacitor is there, it depends on the transconductance, remember. And in our case, my modulating voltage is changing the transconductance of your field effect transistor, and as a result, the capacitance between the point A and A dash is going to change. Here, if you find out the dimension of this, then you will find that it is representing a capacitor. Here, what is the unit of the GM? It is a 1 upon ohm. What is the unit of the capacitor? Farad. What is the unit of resistance? Ohm. So this is cancelled, and this here the unit is a Farad. Means the GM into CR is representing a capacitance. That is the equivalent capacitance present between the point A and A dash. Now, again we go further. Remember, what we have considered? That the Xc is too much greater than R. Correct? Let us say this reactance of the capacitor is n times the value of a resistance. I already mentioned that it will be a 5 to 10 times higher than the resistance. So let us say Xc is equal to n into R is there. Now, this Xc is 1 upon 2 pi Fc is equal to n into R. Then, what is the value of C? C will be equal to, here it will be a 2 pi Fn into R will be there. And if I will put this value of capacitor here in this formula, then I can calculate what is the C equivalent. So the C equivalent will be equal to a Gm into R into 1 upon 2 pi Fn into R. And this R will be cancelled. We can say it is Gm upon 2 pi F into N. So here you can find out what is the value of a equivalent capacitance in terms of the reactance, and what is F? F will be in my central frequency, and from that how much amount of deviation you want, accordingly you can select the value of N. Remember, and that times the value of the capacitor is going to increase or the value of the capacitor is going to decrease, and accordingly there will be a change in the modulation, change in the carrier frequency. So ultimately this expression is very useful to derive how much frequency deviation we want in the modulated way. Now, one more point, that how this is going to be a work. So remember, then whatever your modulating voltage is there, this modulating voltage is applied between these 2 points. That is my Vn. So modulating voltage is a kind of a sinusoidal voltage. It is go on increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing like this. So ultimately, due to this modulating voltage, what will happen? Your gate voltage is changing, and the gate voltage will change the transconductance of your signal. So the modulating voltage is going to change the gate voltage, and the gate voltage is going to change the transconductance. And just now already see the transconductance of the FET is changing, and that is going to change the C equivalent. So as my modulating signal is increasing, decreasing, so whatever the value of the capacitor is here, it is going to change. And this is connected, remember, output of the reactance modulator is connected to a tank circuit. Here, there will be a one capacitor, again. So this is going to work as a variable capacitance, correct? And this is connected to a tank circuit where we have a fixed value of the capacitor and the fixed value of the inductor is there. And this tank circuit is connected to a oscillator. And the output of the oscillator where your frequency is going to increase or decrease. So as the Vm voltage, remember here the Vm voltage is suppose increasing, then the gate voltage is increasing. Vm is increased, then the gate voltage increase. So in that case your transconductance is decreasing. You can see the formula. Then transconductance is decreasing, ultimately your C equivalent is also going to decrease. And what is the formula for the frequency of oscillation? It is 1 upon 2 pi under root of L, C equivalent will be there, and whatever the value of this capacitor will be there. So you can write this. And so that C equivalent is going to decrease, then your frequency that is also increasing. Carrier frequency is increasing. If the Vm voltage is go on decreasing, then the gate voltage will decrease. In that case, the transconductance will increase, the value of the capacitance will increase, and the carrier frequency is decreasing. So, in this way, by changing the modulating voltage, we can change the carrier frequency, and here you can have this kind of a FMV. So this is the basic principle of a capacitive reactance modulator. But remember, here the same circuit we can also use for changing the value of inductor. Now instead of this, here, if I will replace the capacitor through a resistance, and the resistance is replaced with the capacitor, then this will work as a variable inductor. Remember, same circuit, only if we interchange the value of resistance and capacitor. Or here, instead of a capacitor, if we have connected a inductor and here we have connected resistor, so in both the case the reactance modulator will work as a inductive reactor. Here if we see, we can have a different combination. you can see the different combinations are there. Then here between the gate and source, if the capacitor is connected, and between the gate and source, sorry, here between the drain and the gate, if the capacitor is connected, between the gate and the source, the resistance is connected, then the circuit will work as a capacitive reactance, and the value of the reactance that is given by Gm into Rc. Now, if we interchange, means between the gate and the drain, resistance is connected, and between the gate and the source, the capacitor is connected, then it will work as a variable inductor. Or if we have a inductor between the gate and the drain, and resistance between the gate and the source, then also in that case it will work as a variable inductor. Then another thing is that if we connect a resistance between the gate and the drain, and inductor between the gate and the source, then it will work as a variable capacitor. Remember. So here it is not necessary that if I will connect a capacitor, then only it will work as a variable capacitor. It can work as a variable inductor. Only thing is that you have to connect a capacitor between the gate and source. So we can have a 4 different types of the reactance modulator. Either you can change the value of inductor or capacitor, and you can change the carrier frequency. Okay. Now let us see one example. What is the example? Determine the value of capacitive reactance obtained from a reactance FET whose Gm is 10 millisiemens. Or here we note down this value of a transconductance. It is a 12 milli. That is a unit of a transconductance, Siemens. Remember. Assume the gate to source resistance is 1/9 of a reactance of the gate. So R2XC is given a 1/9. Remember, gate to source resistance is 1/9 of the reactance of the gate to drain. Means R by X is 1/9. And the frequency is 5 megahertz. F is equal to a 5 megahertz. So this much data is given to you, and now you have to find out what is the X equivalent. We have to find out this. Now, what is the C equivalent? Just now we already derived the formula that C equivalent is given by a Gm upon 2 pi F into N. Okay? So here if I will take the 2 pi F with this, then the 2 pi F C equivalent will be a Gm by N. And 2 pi Xc equivalent is what? It is a 1 upon Xc equivalent. So it is Gm by N. And here Xc equivalent will be equal to N by Gm. And the value of N, here remember, R by Xc is equal to 1 upon 9, and that is a 1 upon N. So here the N will be equal to N9, because we know this relation that the Xc is equal to Nr. So R by Xc will be 1 upon N, so the N is equal to 9, and therefore this is 9 divided by 12 into 10 is to minus 3. Okay? Because it is a millisiemens is there, and this will be comes out to be 750 ohm. So this is the answer of your example. Now in the next video lecture we will discuss how we can detect the frequency modulated wave. Detect means the whatever the modulated wave is there, then how to extract the information from the modulated wave.